Hello, and welcome to the Old Soul Archaeology Podcast. My name is Michelle Janae. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Are you ready to dig deep? Hello, and welcome to Old Soul Sojourn with Old Soul Archaeology. My name is Michelle Janae. Today I wanted to talk about a phrase that has touched me recently that is just for today. Having recently become a Reiki master, teacher, and practitioner, I'm very familiar with the Reiki principles that all start with just for today. And I want to read them to you really quickly because while the principles are important in and of themselves, I think the real phrase to pay attention to is actually the first three words, just for today. The Reiki principles are just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will be grateful. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. And just for today, I will be kind to every living thing. I love the way those principles really sit deeply. And they've been written in a variety of ways. So just do your work honestly might be to show up with integrity and authenticity as much as it means not to lie, cheat, and steal while you're at the workplace. So for some of us, it may go way deeper into how we show up, who we are, what we've chosen to do. For me, Old Soul Archaeology is much more a representation of who I am authentically than some of the traditional jobs I held in the past. And as much as I showed up to those workplaces working honestly and wanting to do the best job possible, they weren't really aligned with my personality, how I wanted to show up, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to share, and how I wanted to serve. But back to just for today. So a few months ago, this was probably after I got my Reiki 2 class done, or maybe it was my Reiki master practitioner, but not yet my Reiki teacher. I had shared the Reiki principles on my Facebook page, and someone commented, and I took it really personally. They had said, oh yeah, just for today, you'll do that. And then you'll go back to doing all these other things tomorrow. And I thought, who are you to tell me what I'm going to do tomorrow? Honestly, I don't think it was meant to be personal. I think that this was maybe just a calling out of our tendency to go back to some of the baser levels of behavior that we as humans everywhere can do. And certainly I'm guilty of it. And maybe that's why it was the trigger. Again, I don't think it was personal, but instead of responding in a way that was uplifting and self-confident, as in maybe posting exactly, that's why it's just for today, I deleted the post. I took it really personally. In fact, now that I look back, I realize that I didn't even have the power of just for today in me at that time. And so I also, when I was Googling just for today earlier, I also found that Alcoholics Anonymous has their own little document of just for today. And I'm not an alcoholic. I've never been an Alcoholics Anonymous, but I had alcoholic parents or father and grandfather. And I just really thought it was interesting because it's not so much about those 5 principles of Reiki, which are very important. It's really more about finding what's important to you, what behavior changes you're trying to affect in your life, and using the just for today as a way of reducing the need to be perfect or reducing the shame and guilt of not being perfect. And we can also say just for this moment. We can say just for the next hour. Sometimes we really need to take baby steps. But sometimes when we set our goals really far out, I'm going to be the kindest person I've ever known this year. First of all, who's to judge whether I'm the kindest person I've ever known or not? And how am I to keep that up for a year? And what's my measure of success? Do I have to check off a bunch of boxes? But if I just focus on today, and just being kind, maybe removing the comparative sense. It's not about the kindest person I've ever known, because if I have to be the kindest person I've ever known, then I have to be kinder than you, and I have to be kinder than that person. I have to be kinder than the other person, and that's comparative, and it's a dead end right off the bat. So back to Just for Today. Again, I want to share a little bit about the Alcoholics Anonymous take on Just for Today. I'm going to read some of the phrases that they have in their document, and I'll make sure and post the link in case you want to check it out. It's basically a 2-page PDF that I found on alcoholics-anonymous.org.uk. And I'm not going to read all the way through it. I'm just going to give you the highlights of each of the Just for Today inserts. Just for today, I will try to live through this day only and not tackle my whole life problem at once. Sometimes when we get too far out there, it can seem impossible, and so we can just tend to give up. The next one is, just for today, I will be happy. And their second line in this one, which I'll go ahead and read, is that most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. And that's absolutely the truth. So today I can use the power of a very short period of time plus a mental decision to be happy, to look at things on the positive side, not necessarily to be a Pollyanna and or have rose-colored glasses, but we really can look at almost any situation in a positive light if we decide to. Now, that doesn't mean there's not pain and suffering, but does it mean that there's growth? Does it mean that we gain compassion to relate to others who are going through or will go through those similar circumstances in the future? I think so. The next one is, just for today, I will adjust myself to what is and not try to adjust everything on my own desires. And this is interesting too. Again, you have to remember that this is written for a certain group of people who've had trouble with addiction. So what I'm really trying to get at is that not all of these will resonate, and that's okay. What you really need to do is your own Just for Today list. The next one is, just for today, I will try to strengthen my mind. I will study. I will learn something useful. That's rarely a problem for me, but maybe just for today, I will try to integrate some of what I'm learning into my life, because I can be very guilty of accumulating a lot of data, a lot of knowledge, head knowledge. But if I don't bring it down into my heart, then I suffer with just a full head and maybe an empty heart. Just for today, I will exercise my soul in 3 ways. I will do somebody a good turn and not get found out. I will not show anyone that my feelings are hurt. And that wasn't 3 things. Anyways, that's, I'm just kind of reading this off the cuff. But again, for Alcoholics Anonymous, maybe this is a challenge that they can tend to have trouble with. For me, I might share my feelings and not worry about the criticism that I think I'm going to get and might never get. I'm not going to worry about the criticism that I do get, because maybe it's not criticism at all. Maybe that's just how I'm perceiving it. Maybe it's a comment or a desire to relate, or maybe it really is a desire to argue or to get on a pedestal, and that's fine too. I can let them have that. So just for today, I can be okay and not be connected to any feedback, both positive or negative, when I show up just as I am. And sometimes it really is okay to let people know that your feelings are hurt. So just for today, I will wear my heart on my sleeve and be selective about who actually sees my sleeve. The next one, again, is one that may be more geared towards the group, but it says, just for today, I will be agreeable. I've been agreeable my whole life, and I've stuck my disagreeable nature, or maybe it's not even the fact that it's disagreeable, but that it's different. I've stuck that into shadow. So just for today, I will choose how to show up, whether people perceive it to be agreeable or not. This one I really like, because I think we can all adopt and adapt this next one to some degree. It is, just for today, I will have a program. I may not follow it exactly, but I will have it. I will save myself from 2 pests, hurry and indecision. I love the idea of having a program, and I think that's what really drew me to doing this podcast episode on Just for Today. My program can be what I decide to do just for today. And that program can extend over days, weeks, and months, depending on the change that I'm trying to affect in my life. But that program, that idea of having this list of just for today, helps me to focus on the things that I really want. One of the things that I've added to my just for today list is that just for today, I will open myself up to receiving more love. I recorded a podcast today with Joey Garrity of 113 Branding, and she's very business focused, but she has an amazingly beautiful spiritual side that isn't woo-woo. It's not hug the trees or hug everybody, but it's really powerful what she brings to her clients and to her showing up is what she calls a love bucket capacity. And for me, that's been a struggle. It's like how worthy I feel not only of self-love, but love of others. And I really do believe it starts with self-love and love from however we perceive the divine. And I think everyone else kind of follows suit with what the energy we put out about the love that we're willing to receive. So stay tuned. That doesn't air for a month or two, but look for Joey Garrity in the future and our talk about love bucket capacity. The next one here in this document is just for today. I will have a quiet half hour all by myself and relax. Ooh, there's some self-care there. There's some opening of a love bucket there for sure, to take that time, that half an hour that's so valuable. I already had mine today. I did my journaling after I did my shamanic journey, and that time is always good for me. And I noticed that on the days that I do that, whether I'm in quiet meditation or I'm in an active imagination journey of some sort, and then taking the time to journal it afterwards, my moods are better. My focus is better. Everything I do that day tends to be better. And when I don't do it, it's really easy to build a habit where I start to spiral and I stop doing it and I stop doing it and I stop doing it day after day. But it's okay to have that reminder that just for today, I will do that. The last one is just for today, I will be unafraid. And this one probably touches me the most because I've been afraid most of my life to show up as who I am. I often tell people that I'm a former compulsive rule-following people pleaser. And that really isn't a good place to be for my soul because I'm not pleasing myself. And we're here to show up as who we are. If we don't, who are we? How do I please everyone else by being a representative of somebody else? How can I show up and touch someone if it's a mask that I'm putting on? So it's kind of a paradox because we really are taught to kind of stuff self in a closet, or we're selfish, or we're self-centered, or we're self-absorbent. And I've been accused of that, and I've probably been guilty of it. But I think that where I can lose that tendency is just stepping into myself, and then I don't have to worry about it as so much. So just for today, I will be unafraid. What can you do just for today? These were just some ideas, right? There were some that you may relate to. There are some that you might not relate to, but they're just ideas. I'd love to explore this with you more. I'd love to talk about how to come up with your own just for today list to help you move past those blocks, the blocks of not doing anything at all, and the blocks of having something so big and looming on your shoulders that it feels like you are Atlas carrying the world. Let's just take it down to just for today. Or if you're at the point of absolutely nothing, let's just bump it up to just for today. It's a beautiful place to kind of meet in the middle and just learn to be yourself. So just for today, I have forgiven myself for not publishing this podcast on Wednesday. Yep, it's going up late. And there are people that say you've got to be consistent. You have to get your message out consistently. People come to expect it. And if you don't, you lose credibility. That may be. And for those people, I wish them well. If they decide that they're not going to listen from here on out because I missed a day, that's okay. Because just for today, I have decided to share my voice in this moment, which means I've recorded 2 days late. Just for this week, it's been one of those weeks. But it's actually taken a beautiful turn. I've learned some great lessons. And so just for today, I'm going to share them. And so I thank you for listening. It's probably a shorter of some of my podcasts, but next Wednesday on my Old Soul Medicine Circle, I think I'll be sharing this. I think this is a good thing to do in a group where we can really explore the types of things that we want to focus on and that we can be proactive yet forgiving. We can be focused yet not so over the top that we actually kind of blow ourselves out of the water before we even get in, before we've even dipped our toes in it. So if you're watching this recording after I do this next Wednesday, just know that every Wednesday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, I do an Old Soul Medicine Circle. It's live via Zoom. You can go to my website, oldsoularchaeology.com/medicine circle. No spaces, no dashes, just /medicine circle, as if it's all one word. Register so that you get the reminders. It's just an hour to do some inner work, probably some meditation or visualization. And every week we do something a little bit different, but we have the power of a group of people that come together and share. Sometimes the group is really small and sometimes we have a few more people, but it's really engaging and very healing. So anything that heals us is medicine. That is my point of departure for today. I thank you so much for tuning in and listening. And until next time, dare to dig deep.